Well, I loved driving in and seeing your wisdom oak, which is on your label. I just think that is so beautiful. And just the approach here was absolutely incredible. So how did you find this property?
So we actually, when we first moved down here from Philadelphia, the guidelines were she needed an amazing kitchen. And so I scoured Virginia looking for an amazing kitchen, and we found one in a farmhouse down the road that had some neighboring property to it that was open that we were going to use as our vineyard land. And at the 11th hour, the vineyard portion of it actually fell through. The landowner decided to not sell it, but she had already fallen in love with the house and the kitchen. So
we're living in that house no matter what.
Yeah, and so we moved down here, and I said, you know, it's a 3 to 5 year plan. We'll figure out a property, and we'll start a winery, and we'll get going. Well, fast forward, we moved here, and then about 3 months later, instead of 3 years, I was like, hey, we're gonna go look at a property. And she's like, are you kidding me? And I was like, yep, for sure, we're gonna check it out. And it had been closed, and we drove down the lane and had the same kind of reaction that you did, which was the potential here was amazing at the time. I mean, the grass was very high, the vines were growing together, so it was, you know, in some trouble. We just spent the first 2 years making everything look good again before we were even able to open to the public. Oh, and by the way, I had to learn how to make wine because I've never made wine before. So we bought the property and had the vines, and we were actually planting before we even closed so that we would be ahead of the game. So all the Cabernet Franc that's down to our right here, we planted in 2015, and we didn't even own the property, but I was like, if we don't do it now, we're gonna be behind the 8 ball, so we have to get ahead of it and then have to learn how to make wine, so.
Oh my goodness, yes, so there's that. That little detail.
That part was a little important.
Yeah.
Well, I've had your wines and they are wonderful.
Thank you.
So let's try a little bit here.
Absolutely. So speaking of the Cabernet Franc, we have the 2019 Cabernet Franc. This is from the lower section of the vineyard down here off to our right, like I said, that we planted in 2015. Some of the intermingled vines are from 2001. And this was all aged in neutral oak. So nice light cherry on this, a nice firm tannin as well. This is always a crowd favorite here at Wisdom Oak. People just cannot wait for the new Cabernet Franc to come out. And so we've planted about 4 more acres of Cabernet Franc at the new site as well. To just bolster production, because in the past, including this one, we're only able to make about 100, 125 cases, and it's gone in a month.
Yes.
And so now we're going to be stepping that up to 600 to 700 cases this year to try and have a stopgap so we can at least have a wine last, you know, hopefully 6 months.
Yes.
We tend to have a problem of selling out so quickly of some wines. So.
Yeah. So are you small production in all of your?
Yeah, to this point, we've kept everything very small, so 200 has been the max. One was a limitation of vineyard space and availability because we planted another vineyard, but as you know, it takes many years for that to come to fruition, no pun intended. And we also like to keep a focus on quality, so very, very small batches. I'm constantly tasting, making sure that it's exactly what I want before this goes into the bottle.
Smart.
And then is served to the public.